Thank you very much. I can't add anything more to that, except that that same sentiment is something that we in the Horsepower Project aspire to and join with you in. And therefore, I hope you're going to get a lot of benefit from today, and we hope to leave a little bit of a legacy behind. First of all, I would like to introduce you to the Horsepower Project. So what we're going to do, oh, we can just make this move. Oh, it's not moving for some reason.
Sorry,
PowerPoint is just a bit frozen. It doesn't matter, okay? Whilst we get that started, we will keep trying. But I want to introduce you to who we are and what we do. We are just veterinarians who have a common objective, and that is that we recognize the donkeys and the horses that we care for. We all recognize them. They are important to societies in which they exist and have been important for centuries, for millennia, actually. Imagine if the donkey had not been domesticated. If the donkey had allowed itself to be domesticated, how would history have been changed? Would Mary have made it to Bethlehem? Probably not. And how would that have changed the whole landscape of the world subsequently? Don't blame the donkey for the ills of this world. Okay, it's not the donkey's fault, it's our fault. If we listened to the donkey, we would be all much better off, I would suggest. We're just waiting for the next slide. So we have been traveling around doing this we raise money for charities, and the charities that we're going to show you, I'm going to try to illustrate those for you today. And if we can, I'll just keep clicking this from time to time. Our charities are important to us because we designate charities, usually in Africa, but not exclusively by any manner of means. I'm going to show you some difficult pictures and some difficult videos this afternoon, just in the introduction. These are very difficult to watch, okay? And I know that you will not like them, okay? But this is the world we live in. The world is a very troubled place at the moment with a lot of things going wrong. And we in society, the people who care, need to understand that we have to contribute towards the betterment of the world, not just leaving it behind the way it was. We have to stick to this ideal. So over the last 13 years, we've carried out 13 events. Actually, it's 15 years because COVID came in the way. But COVID didn't stop us. It stopped us traveling, but it did not stop us from doing something to help mankind in general. So we ran an event during COVID to keep the charities going, because our charities rely on the money we raise. And we do that good work willingly. It's difficult. It's not a holiday for us. We love it, and we love coming here and meeting lovely people in beautiful places, unbelievably beautiful places, like Sardinia. I can't recall seeing a better place, actually. I've been in a lot of places in the world. I've been in 134 countries of the world, and I cannot recall a better place, scenically, environmentally, and for the people. So that must tell you something about Sardinia. It means it's a very special place. We've been into South Africa. We've been to St. Petersburg. We're not going back there anytime soon, I have to tell you. I'm very cross about what is going on in the world. But we have to get on and do our job. So our project has involved trips to St. Petersburg, across Europe, to the Arctic Circle, from Johannesburg to Cape Town in South Africa. We've traveled across Europe many times, going this way and that way, Eastern Europe, Central Europe, Southern Europe, Spain and Portugal. And we've been to all these countries raising money. And so far, our complete tally is 1.4 or just about 1.5 million euros that we've raised in this project. That's a lot of money, but the good thing about that money is that the money actually is worth more at the target end than it is here. We can't do the same amount of work in Europe with that money that we can do in Africa or in Cambodia or in India, for example, where we have done 600 cleft palate operations, for example, for children with cleft palates. So over the years, we've done more and more and more fundraising. And this all relies on you being part of the project. You have to engage with our project, and you have to try to encourage people to understand what we're doing, maybe to donate a few pounds here, a few euros here and there. That all helps. But our other objective is to share our knowledge with you. And I am privileged to ride with these amazing people in the project. I don't know of any better people that I would wish to ride with on our motorbikes, to come and see you guys. This is an amazing team of people who give up their time, give up the motorbikes, are prepared to accept a few blisters on the backside from riding hundreds and hundreds of miles every day. And I think this should now start working, I hope. I'll just take you through this. It's not working either. No? Okay. Move the slide on. Just next slide, please. Next slide. It does. Okay. Okay, so this is, we know we're privileged. We know we're privileged, don't we? We all know. We go home and we have a shower, we eat food, we eat this lovely food sitting out here, and we are very privileged. So that should work. Now, I'm going to tell you a little story now. I'm going to tell you one or two little anecdotes, and then I'll flick past those things which I've already mentioned. Okay, I'm going to take you to a little oasis about 150 kilometers north of Timbuktu in the Sahara Desert. Okay, when we arrived, there were 500 or 200 donkeys in an oasis, all waiting for veterinary attention. And the staff there was more than 40 degrees. And the staff get out of their vehicles and they start rasping teeth and cutting feet, just the everyday things that you and I do in our work. And during this, in the distance, I saw through the heat haze a little cart coming closer and closer and closer. And it was very slow. And I thought, why is it coming so slowly? And when it got close enough for me to see, I realized that it was not being pulled by a donkey. It was being pulled by a family of 4 people, a mother, a father, and I beg your pardon, 5 people, and 3 small children were pulling the cart. The donkey was dying of tetanus and was on the cart. There was nothing I could do. There was nothing I could do. I had to put the donkey down. I had to kill the donkey, no question. And the father fell to the ground, wrapped his arms around my legs, and cried because he knew that if the donkey died, his children had no hope for the future. It was that pivotal moment to this person. Now, I don't know what you would do. You probably do exactly what I did, and that is to buy another donkey, you know, to help them. But we also, during this time, I spoke to the little girl who was there. Here's the donkeys. And here's the donkey here. Okay, this is the donkey now dying of tetanus. You can see it's dying of tetanus. It's all rigid. And there's the family going back into the Sahara Desert. But the little girl at the front there, right at the very front, she was 8 years old now. And I asked her what she wanted to be when she grew up. And she said she wants to be a médecin, a doctor. Well, even now, I choke up with it because her chances of being a doctor were so small. But now the donkey was dead. That little glimmer of hope that she had was destroyed, complete destroyed. What would you do? Well, of course, we provided the donkey, but I can tell you, as a result of just a little family and a few other friends, this young lady is now a doctor. She works in a hospital in Timbuktu. She's mostly interested in gynecology and obstetrics. Well, that's fine. I'm very glad for that. But it's a success story as a consequence of a moment of kindness that we all should exert in our society, in everyday life that we see. Why be bad? No, let's not be bad. Let's show kindness to as many people and as many animals as we can. Is this sort of thing acceptable, both from a donkey perspective and from a human perspective? Is it acceptable for this little child here that you see here, to be carrying an enormous bottle, plastic thing of water on her head? She's 6 years old. She's got to walk 5 kilometers twice a day carrying this. Is it acceptable? No, it isn't. Is it acceptable that she's not vaccinated against anything? No, it isn't. And therefore, we as a society have to help, and we must help. It is not acceptable. And we have to show empathy, and we have to show love, both for our fellow man and for the animals upon whom the fellow men depend. We have to show love. And this is Amadou Doumbia, who's a veterinary surgeon in Mali. And you can see he cares, doesn't he? That picture, I can't really look at it because it chokes me up again. He shows that he cares. You can see it pouring out of him. He has an attitude of love towards the owner of the donkey and to the donkey itself. And that's our responsibility as a profession. So who are we? I'm going to skip past this because I've told you what we do and I've told you where we go, but here we all are. We go around the United Kingdom, then we go off to Casablanca on our motorbikes, a long, long, long way, over 5,000 kilometers. We went that time. Did it all in 18 days. We were raising money again, so we were off to Morocco. That was a tremendous trip. And then we raised money in 2012 in that for a whole lot of causes. Then we went round, as you can see, we went round Europe again. Okay, we went off to St. Petersburg. That was a big event when we went to St. Petersburg. Then in 2015, we went round United Kingdom and Ireland. And then we went to South Africa to ride from Johannesburg to Cape Town. And we have some fun. You know, it's a lovely event. It's a fantastic event. And we enjoy ourselves. That's not wrong. That's not wrong just because we enjoy ourselves. It's right that we should enjoy raising money for good causes and do it with love, because that's what it's all about. Then 2017, we went to Eastern Europe. We had a great time going to Eastern Europe. Then we went to the Arctic Circle because I was always wanting to go to the Arctic Circle and put my motorbike on the Arctic Circle. There it is. That's my motorbike there. Look, the same one I've got outside. Okay, that's that little motorbike there. Look, that one there. And if you look at it, you see that's the Arctic Circle that goes down the middle of this, and this is it here. Do you see? Disappointingly, I was told, unfortunately, that over the last 20 years, the Arctic Circle has moved 12 feet north. But anyway, it doesn't matter, does it? We were there. Anyway, so this is what we did. And we had a great tour, and we raised a lot of money with the same people that you see here. And then we went around Iberia, around Spain and Portugal, raising money for the good causes again, I'm going to tell you. Then we had the horsepower event in COVID. Horsepower 10 was COVID. We had to do that virtually. Then we went to Scandinavia again to do it again. We were raising money for more good causes. And so now this year, we're raising money for some good causes. We're raising money for a little place in Mali, a little school in Mali. Here's the school, Bright Futures Secondary School. Okay, these are kids who are desperate to learn. They are absolutely desperate. All these uniforms that you see here, all the clothes, come from donations from people in Europe because they've got nothing there. They've got nothing. And I'm determined that they will have something. And just like that little girl became a doctor, I want lots of these kids to become doctors and accountants, God forbid, lawyers and vets as well. They could all become that, and it's very good. So we also raised money for the Gambia Horse and Donkey Trust. I'll show you some pictures of that in a minute. And for the Saving the Survivors, and I'm going to show you some videos of that in a moment or two. That's what we're doing. We've also raised in the past money for cleft palate operations through the Smile Train. Now, if you look at the top left picture, and I want you to imagine yourself in that position, and hopefully you have been in that position in your life and probably still are, where you can sit opposite someone who you love, and you can pick up the glass, and you can smile at the person you love across the table, and you can tell them you love them. And then you can drink the glass of wine, and then you can kiss each other to just show you love each other. Imagine if you can't do that. Imagine if you can't drink normally. You can't speak normally. Is that right? Absolutely not. This is one of the reasons why we do this. I'll skip past this because I haven't got time. We also do Saving the Survivors, and I'm going to show you some videos of this now. This is not easy. This is not easy to watch. Saving the Survivors is a charity that provides veterinary care for injured poached animals that happen to survive the attentions of poachers in Africa. These are iconic species: the pangolin, the cheetah, the leopard, the elephant, the rhinoceros, and some smaller creatures as well, the cheetah, for example. These are animals that are poached for no apparent reason, and they are left devastated. And you can see the consequences of the devastation here. This charity provides veterinary care to reconstitute and re-establish these animals, to cure them, to help them, and to re-establish their faith in humanity, which actually is hard to do, I have to say. So now I'm going to play these videos for you, and I'm going to shut up now for the minute. I'm just going to let you watch the videos. Okay, they're taken, the one on the left is taken from a helicopter. I'm sitting in the helicopter with my iPhone, okay? And the one on the right was taken by a friend of mine in Kruger National Park. So if you watch these now, I would be grateful for 2 minutes of your time. Can you play them? Thanks. You can see the rhinoceros in the bush, can't you? See, this is a helicopter, so I'm sorry, it's not easy to keep the thing right, eh? Okay. But watch the rhinoceros very carefully, please. Watch the rhinoceros comes around here. She comes around here, look. She's had her face cut off. She's had her face cut off with a chainsaw. She's been shot first in the back. She can just move. You can see her cecum is out through the exit hole on her abdomen. And then they cut her face off with a chainsaw to put on someone's cornflakes to stop them getting cancer. Is that acceptable to you? We have to stop this. Let's watch the next one, please. If you regard that as acceptable, that's fine. I don't. I can't bear this. It's not right, and it's not correct for any of us. I can't watch this. I've watched this dozens of times, and I can't watch it because it's wrong, blatantly and utterly wrong. Anyway, we're not here on holiday. So I'm going to skip past this. You can see we do different sorts of things on our motorbikes. I've seldom seen a road as bad as the one we've just come up, because we came up the back road, and it's all this. But if you look at the picture on the left, this is my leg, I have to say, but it was a sacrifice, and it didn't hold up the project. We carried on regardless. Okay, and I'm fine now. Okay. More or less, anyway. Someone said my brain is gone, but that's another issue entirely. Okay, so help us to help our causes, please. We need your help, okay? There's a little quote there that says, "Do not walk behind me, I may not lead. Do not walk in front of me, I may not follow. Just walk beside me and be my friend." That's what we want. We need you to be our friend. And we need you to fly the flag for our project and for other projects like ours. It's not acceptable. If you care enough about donkeys and horses, if you care enough about rhinos and children, then you're part of the Horsepower project. And maybe you can take part in other projects that are like-minded. I'm going to tell you this little story as well. I know it's taking my time, and I'd rather sacrifice my lecture in a minute and tell you about this little child here. See this little girl? She had cerebral palsy. She was 8, okay? She was 8 years old. You could pick her up. I could pick her up like that without any difficulty. She had no hope in Mali, but we got her to the little disabled riding center that was set up by the Horsepower Project in conjunction with Spana many years ago. You can see it going on here. And she loved going on the horse. She blossomed. And do you know something? Do you see the bottom right picture? There she is. There she is. Here, look. She can walk. She can talk. She sits on a keyboard and presses one key at a time. Takes her a long time to press a key. But she's just another human, needs help. If you give her help, she can make something of herself. She's a lovely person. We need to help these people. Finally, I'm going to show you this last bit of video here. Just going to remind you of why it's important that we as a species look after our animals in the world. A little bit of help and a little moment of kindness makes an enormous difference. You see the rhino, the mother rhinoceros been shot, dead, and she's had her face cut off. But now what? What about the little fellow there? Mum. He's looking for food, he's looking for milk, he wants this protection of his mother, and it's not available. That's why we do this, okay? No more nor no less. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay, so it's